This will improve your sleep cycles because melatonin is a hormone that helps you fall asleep, and it will just make it easier. So every time you do plan to go to bed, you will go to bed on time. And then some time management tips is setting priorities, which we've already discussed. Creating a schedule that includes your daily activities, your leisure times, the tasks that you have a goal to accomplish, and including your breaks. And the reason that including breaks in your time management schedule is pretty helpful is because taking breaks prevents burnout. You can't have a schedule where you're working for 6 hours straight and expect to be productive the entire time through. So incorporating little breaks, say 15 to 30 minutes every once in a while, is very helpful to keep you productive. But also sometimes you're more likely to procrastinate again on a full 3-hour break. So making sure that you have specific allotted times will kind of motivate you to get back to work after your break. And obviously you don't want to procrastinate. You want to get your tasks done earlier than later, because you'll also be a lot less overwhelmed if you have an entire day to do it, rather than pushing it back 10 hours and realizing that now you have 2 hours before midnight. And you can also break your tasks into smaller bits if you find that that's more helpful, because it's better to get something done than nothing. So yeah. Now, I made a little practice schedule where I set my priorities, which would be studying for a math test, completing a science assignment, and completing an art project. I also allotted time for a lunch break and just regular breaks in between studying. If I wanted to, I could have a situation where a goal is quantifiable, like completing, say, 3 science assignments. So I could tell myself that if I get these assignments done earlier, then I will just take a longer break. So if I finish at 2 o'clock, then now my break could be from 2 to 2:45 if I feel like it, or I could just shift the entire schedule up. And if I'm having issues with procrastination where I don't want to study for my math test, instead of pushing the entire schedule back 5 hours, because then it's a lot more dangerous to have a time crunch at 10 p.m. than 5, I could just switch my schedule around. So I could start off with the art project because I prefer to do art. Then I have my lunch, my science assignments, my math. That way, even though I'm procrastinating, I'm still being productive throughout the day, and I'm still getting things done in the allotted time structure that I've created. Q&A, so you can ask questions about time management and clarify some doubts. Any questions?
Maybe I can go first. And thanks very much, Michelle, for the wonderful presentation. I think I learned a lot in this few minutes. You talked about the importance. What really caught my attention is when you stressed about the importance of going to bed early. It gives makes you focus, and then it helps you plan out your day properly. I myself and a few people I know I'll probably be guilty of going to bed late. It's something I'm personally trying to improve on, and I know a lot of people should. So can you maybe throw more light on how that can help improve your ability to plan your day and set your targets?
If you schedule to do all of your tasks earlier than later, so you kind of force yourself to get up in the morning, then it kind of helps setting up a schedule where you also get to go to sleep early, and then you have a decent amount of time to fall asleep. Because if you're doing your assignments at midnight and now you've been on a screen typing, you're probably going to stay awake for another hour or 2 hours if you take your break right before you go to bed and you're on your phone. And now it's 2 a.m. So chances are when you wake up at noon, and then you try to prep yourself to do another assignment the next day, but you don't start until 2 or 3. So you would push your entire schedule back and you're stuck in a cycle. So trying to make a schedule where you do things in the morning, you force yourself to get up in the morning, means that you're also going to be tired at night. So you go to sleep early, you wake up early, and you continue a more productive schedule.
Thanks, Michelle. I completely agree with that. And also understanding as a student and just with life generally, when you go to bed and wake up, your head is clearer, and because it's morning, I mean, for us adults, like you have to get to work. So if you have to study for an exam and you're up at 4 a.m., so you really have to get a lot done versus, like you said, pushing it into the late nights when you're already tired from your day's activities and trying to get stuff done. You get distracted by your phone and you don't just achieve as much. It's a tested and proven strategy that early morning hours are generally more productive than late nights. Thank you.
Also, Trip was asking a question about preparation for university or a college. If you're applying to a college, I don't have as much information on that, but I did do a very extensive amount of research on a lot of schools when I was first applying, because I was very scared that like I would for some reason miss something. And I feel like I was not sleeping enough. So what I said about memory retention, I would be going back to the university sites like every single day, because I would forget like what type of prerequisite courses that I needed to apply to university, what type of grades I needed, and I would panic. So I would go back to make sure that I had them. So I do have to ask, is there a specific like program or university that you wanted to know anything about in particular? That would probably help me give a better description of what type of information you need. Though, one thing I can say is that you usually can find information about the specific program online, but what the schools won't tell you is about the student life and how like the students actually feel. So being able to find students that do go to university is a little bit helpful, because they're going to give you an honest review of how they felt with like classes, whether they were structured well, whether they felt overwhelmed with the course load. And I feel like those type of opinions are more transparent and easier to help you evaluate like what type of school you want to apply to. Okay. Political sciences or psychology? Okay, I know now I'm stuck because I don't actually know anything about the humanities. I do believe that typically their grade ranges are within the 80s, but it's still good to aim for 90s to be a competitive applicant. Depending on the school, they may have a prerequisite. You always need English, so make sure to work on English. My advice is taking summer school English, because it does help getting a better grade, since it's one of the harder classes to get like 90s in. But like all the classes you take, make sure that you are interested in them, not necessarily only to be a mark booster. I tried to take health and nutrition as a mark booster, and I did not like the course at all, and it ended up being like one of my lowest grades. So I dropped it because I didn't want universities to see it. But if you have a genuine interest in the program, then in the course, then it's going to be a lot easier to stay focused and like motivate yourself to work on the assignments, which means better grades for uni, and then now you're more competitive applicant. So, does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know how when you have a lot lined up, like a lot of work, a lot of homework maybe, I was wondering how you would deal with it the way you do your work. Like, it might not be considered healthy. Like, sometimes people, they procrastinate a lot, and then at the end where there's like a lot of deadlines and all of them are really close, they like burn through all their work and it's like getting over with and all done. Like, how that affects yourself. I wanted to talk about that.
Okay. Well, I go to a self-paced school where they're not as strict on deadlines. So I am a victim of like waiting until literally the last second and then doing all of my assignments like last second. And it sucks so much doing it last second. It's something that you can get away with in high school because the course load is a little bit less, but I think that like it's something that admittedly you do have to do in the end. Like once you're kind of facing the consequences of your actions, you still have to get all the work done, so you cram then. But you do want to try to fix the habits later and hope that you don't end up in the same situation again, because once you go to university, like that's not happening. If you have to cram it like literally a minute before an hour before the deadline, you're just gonna have to take the fail, and then you're gonna feel bad about it later. So you want to work on those habits and just try to practice being consistent while you're still in high school and while your marks like aren't as important currently. That way you won't like suffer for it later. So my advice is just starting as early as possible to fix your schedule if you're the type of person that like procrastinates and crams everything last second right now.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle.
You're welcome. Let's say you don't have the right courses to pursue your dream program. How can you bypass this if it's too late? Some students that I know, honestly, unless you are grade 12 right now, I don't think that it's too late for you to take the prerequisite courses that you would need for your program. If you could tell me what program that is, I might know what you mean. But I do know a lot of grade 12s choose to take grade 13 so that they can get in the required courses if they haven't already. Because if it's your dream program and you don't have the courses yet, I think that it's more beneficial for you to work towards getting the credits for it than just choosing a course that like you can apply to but you don't want to do. Because like I said, it's like you start now, but then you have like your entire education and your career ahead of you. Wait, no, I'm in BC, there's no grade 13. Oh no. But you're in grade 12 currently, or you're going to grade 12? You're going to grade 12. Are you allowed to take grade 11 courses in grade 12? It may be harder to do because taking 8 courses in grade 12 is like a little bit harder, but you can try to take the prerequisites for first semester and then taking, your courses are full. You would need summer school courses as well to try and get the prerequisites. But I guess you can also attempt going to college to get some credits and then transferring to university afterwards. Because honestly, I can say that if you're only going to apply to programs that you qualify for currently, then it might set you on a track to go to a career that you're not interested in. And overall, like for the future, you don't want to invest the next like 50 years doing work that you are not interested in. So trying to look for college courses that you can take to possibly transfer into a university for the program that you are interested in may be a plausible option. But yeah, you're welcome. But yeah. What program is it that you were trying to go into, and which courses are you missing so far? Because I think that some places offer night schools as well, or private schools. Our district didn't, but I'm not too sure if other schools have them that you can try to look into as well. Or talking to a guidance counselor to help you see if they're allowed to make exceptions. All right. Are there any other questions? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay, I think that our coordinator can come back up then.
Good, Michelle.
Hello? Or did you say thank you?
Yeah, I said thank you.
Oh, then you're welcome.
Thank you, Michelle. Amazing presentation, by the way. Okay, so since no one has any more questions, there's a poll, like there's a kind of a quiz template thing about questions about Canadian history and stuff.
All the people that have not said anything, Eden, yourself, Devian, Trip, and the rest, maybe you could share your thoughts on the presentation, as well as possibly tell us what you're taking away from this, or what you think can be done to improve the program, or what you'd look to see the next time you show up, something like this. Just about anything that can engage us.
Yeah, I like the presentation. I learned about circles earlier in the school year. It was good to have a reminder, so I'll probably use that again because they were really helpful for me when I first learned about them.
I do segment about procrastination because it's a problem that I do struggle with, and I know I have to improve on that.
From Trip. Yeah, but thank you. I know you mentioned procrastination. Mr. Odo, you want to say anything? Are you speaking? Because I think you have to unmute.
Yes, I was just about to ask the question rather than say. I wanted to ask, this is a broad question that goes to anybody who would like to share his biggest secret on time management. Is there something that you do your practice that has really been a game changer for you, time management, in your practice, in your work, in your study, anybody at all? What's your big secret?
One big secret I have is, like, if I have something I'm dreading, the second I think of it, I just start doing it. Because the sooner you start, the sooner it'll be over, and you can do whatever you want after. So that's probably my big secret.
That's fantastic. So you don't waste any time when you have some thoughts about something to do. You put it into action right away.
Yeah, I try not to. I try to just get it done and deal with it instead of having a certain time.
Fantastic. Just do it. I love it. Someone else? That was incredible, Susan. That was really good. Someone else. Tell me your big secret. Tell us your big secret.
To help with my time management, I like to give the incentives first because a lot of the time it's difficult to start. So like, let's say instead of saying, oh, I'll have ice cream after I finish, you say, oh, to start, I'll have ice cream and then I'll do my work while I'm eating it, so you can convince yourself to actually get it started because it's easier once the balls are rolling.
I love that. You incentivize yourself to start. That's beautiful. I love it. Fantastic. Nice one. Someone else has a tip. What has worked for you? What works for you? Michelle, you want to tell us something that works for you? I know you shared, but for you, your big tip.
For me, whenever I'm trying to work, I like to listen to music. Like, I'll just put in my earbuds. And I mean, I listen to classical music because apparently it helps you like focus and it's just calming. So it doesn't like leave any distractions because you can only hear music. So it helps you focus.
Wow, music helps you to focus and get going, right? Wow, fantastic. Solomon, you had something to share? Or maybe one of our people in the background is going to say something. Would love to hear. Oh, Debbie, please go forward.
When I want to like do a lot of work, I would try to do little things first so I can feel like I'm already being productive. And then I'll like be all in my zone and I'll put on music and I'll be by myself and I'll try to finish as much work as possible. That helps me a lot.
That's really nice. So you start off something, you get into the zone with some music, and then you're all productivity. Wow, that's really good. Love it. Angie, Zarina, anybody else? Oh, Osho is ready. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll go back to you.
Thank you. So now it's time for the poll, and the poll is basically it's only 7 questions, and it's just as I said before about Canadian history, Canadian heritage, and all those things. So I'm going to start the poll, and the top 3 winners of the poll will receive a prize. So you gotta try your best and try not to cheat too. So we'll see how this goes.
Do we have a time limit?
No, but I can put one though.
Okay.
Can you guys see, right?
Yeah. If there's 7, we should do it in 4 minutes, I think.
Okay. I can put maybe 3 minutes because it's 7 questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
3 minutes is fine.
Yeah.
Even though you have the adults play, you're only choosing the winners from the young people, right?
Yeah, of course.
Are we participating too? Adults like us?
You can test your knowledge, but you won't be winning.
So has everyone answered so far?
Yep.
Looks like we have 8 responses.
Yeah. All right. So since you guys can't see the right answers, right?
No.
Okay. So I'm just gonna tell you guys the answers and
You have to
see.
take us through it one by one and then possibly add any explanations there is.
Okay. So, there's 9 people now. So, okay, I'm gonna just say the answers. So for question 1, it was, what is the oldest city in Canada? And the answer is St. John's. So a little bit of history. St. John is established in 1497. St. John's, Newfoundland is the oldest city in Canada. The next established city was Quebec City. That wasn't until 1608. So if you answer St. John, you got it correct. I can't actually see who got it correct. So I don't know. Okay, for the next question, which disease did Terry Fox contract as a child? And I know a lot of us are familiar with Terry Fox, so the answer was cancer. So there's no need for explanation. That's explanatory. Another one. In which year was Justin Trudeau born? And the answer is 1971. And
I'm laughing because I read that to be Justin Trudeau. Sorry, Justin Bieber. I didn't know it's Justin Trudeau.
oh,
Bieber, what the?
oh, it's all good. Okay, so a little history about that is on June 23rd, 1971, the Prime Minister's office, or PMO, announced that the Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau's wife of 4 months, the former Margaret St. Clair, was pregnant and due in December. Justin Trudeau was born on December 25th, 1971. That's Christmas. Okay. At 9:27 p.m. Eastern Time at the Ottawa Civic Hospital. Okay. So if you picked 1971, you got it right. And what is the former day? What is the former day of Canada Day? And that is, answer is Dominion Day. So if you got that right, good for you. And what is the nickname of Canada? And the answer for that is the Great White North. Okay. See if you got that right. What were the first people to live in Canada? And the answer for this one is the Aboriginals. So the Aboriginal people, or the native people, lived off the land, some by hunting and gathering, others by raising crops. Sorry. Yeah. So everyone got that right. So. And who designed the Canadian flag? Let me see. It was George Stanley. Okay. So good job to you guys who got that right. And that's all for the poll. Okay, so thank you all for joining.
Who's gonna be our presenter for next meeting?
Am I choosing?
Maybe you can figure that out in the meeting.
Maybe. Okay. Probably. Yeah, probably we'll figure that out later on, maybe.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Isho.
And I think for anyone here who would want to present at the next meeting, just kindly reach out to us, or you can even drop your name on the chat and we'll reach out to you.
There's a mentor who's going to walk you through building the slides and also coaching you on how to do a presentation. So that's actually part of what this is about. Thank you, Osho.
Michelle, thank you very much. Michelle, thank you.
Great work, Michelle and Osho. Great work.
And guys, for next session, invite your friends. Okay, don't enjoy this alone. I mean, spread the word. We want to see more participants joining. And yeah, this is for you. You can also send us feedback on how you would want us to improve this. That would be awesome. How do you want us to run with this? The topics you think is relevant to you, something you think you would benefit from, even your friends, your group, your network, your peers. Just give us feedback. We appreciate that. Okay.
All right. Everyone, bye to everyone. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.